I know over the last month or two you've read an awful lot about mobile websites. Everybody's telling you why you have to have them. Everyone's explaining how Google is ranking them now. But really, nobody's telling you what a mobile website is. Technically, I mean. You're expected to purchase this thing, and nobody tells you what it is or how it actually works. This time on Marketing to Tourists, it's how do mobile websites work? It turns out there are two different types of mobile websites, and we're going to talk about both of them. Now, they both work, they can both serve you well, but it's important before you start to purchase a website that you know exactly what you're looking for and you know what questions to ask your web designer. The first type we want to talk about, the responsive website. I thought it appropriate that I start out with my home website as an example. The first thing I want to show you is the two blue columns over on the sides. Now, the center part of this website, the actual content, is 860 pixels wide. That's not a coincidence. As you can see, there are two columns and a small YouTube video here. Over on the other side, even more links to get back to different pages within the website. Now, let's compress this site a little bit, and the reason for the width will become appropriate. If we show it on a tablet, our two blue columns are still here. There's a little less space between the logo and the tagline. However, our sliced image is still the same size, and we still have two columns here, even though the text has rewrapped a little bit. Let's squeeze the page a little more, and what we're going to find out now is that the logo and cell line have become highly compressed. Our sliced image is a little bit smaller. One of our little baracks has fallen down and rewrapped, and the text has now also rewrapped, and our YouTube video is even smaller than it was before. So we see the page still has the same content, although it is becoming smaller as we go down in size. Here's a smartphone version of the site. There isn't even room for the menu anymore. It has to come from the top up here and drop down. By the way, everyone with a smartphone knows what that icon means. Notice how small our sliced banner has become. And everything else has completely rewrapped. The YouTube video is now small. Notice we have two columns where there were one. This is now on a lower part of the page instead of being off beside the text where it was located before. So everything has rewrapped, the columns have shifted underneath one another, however all the content is still in place. Now the advantage to this kind of design is that the web designer only has to make each page one time. So as a client, you're only paying for one version of the website. However, there's different ways to approach this. Let's take another look at a different kind of mobile website. One of the things you'll notice about a true mobile website being used on a cell phone is that all of the buttons seem to fit. There really is no need for a drop-down menu because everything was designed for the phone from the ground up. Notice these fields actually fit easily onto the small mobile screen. Now, desktop websites that try to display on mobile phones don't really work that well. You can't read the text, really. You could never use these buttons. The site is all but unusable. And the shame is, this is a tourism-based major corporation. They really should have a mobile version of their website. Now, how does this work? Well, your phone, which is a miniature computer, will contact the server. And the server will ask the mobile device a question. what kind of browser are you using, and your phone or desktop will say, for example, I have Chrome 257-B3. The server will come back with the correct version of the website. It's designed to go on a 5-inch or a 3-inch or a 27-inch screen. So there are multiple versions of each website served up by the server as requested. Now this conversation happens so fast, the user is unaware that the server and phone or desktop have had this conversation. I hope you found some of this helpful and instructive, and if you have, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You can do it by clicking right there. Also, I've got a gift for you. You know, the reasons why we need a mobile website are kind of complex, and Google did a groundbreaking study a couple of years ago. It's called Zmont, and I'll give you a free PDF of the Zmont report. All you have to do is subscribe to our newsletter. You can do it right there. By the way, I don't send letters out more than once a month or so, and you can opt out at any time. But in the meantime, you can have your copy of Google's Zmont. Do it by subscribing and clicking right there. Guys, thank you very much, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.